to bring onset the most significant, important, and effective free market growth advocate in the U.S. Senate. His name is Senator Pat Toomey. He is from the state of Pennsylvania. Tragically for us, he is retiring, but he has done the Lord's work for many years, Mr.
Larry,
Pat Toomey.
You are very kind. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You can't get enough credit from me or anybody else for that matter. So let's talk a little bit about these things. Nobody better than you on this perspective. The threat is inflationary recession.
Yep.
And the actions look like in this lame duck, Congress wants to spend a lot of money, a lot more money. And tragically, in my view, with this so-called omnibus bill that would cover the rest of the fiscal year, the Senate GOP leadership seems to be going along with it. All right, what do you think about this?
Yeah, so I'm very worried about where this ends up. And, you know, the tension and the dynamic, Larry, is most Republicans, and I include myself in this, think that we actually need a significant increase in defense spending. There are very real threats. The world's gotten more dangerous, not less so, as you know. And inflation hits the Pentagon's budget as it hits everybody. The problem is the price the Democrats demand for that. They somehow think that they should get a huge increase in non-defense spending if we insist on the resources to defend our country, to protect our country. And what's so wildly maddening about it is the staggering amount of money we've been spending in the last few years. You know, we arguably had a $2 trillion hole in the economy when government shut down the economy during the pandemic. We filled it with $6 trillion. We had the Fed pumping money out like there's no tomorrow. And, like, why should anybody be surprised that we've got the worst inflation in 40 years?
Inflation, right.
Right. And the Democrats' answer is, let's spend much more.
Yep.
I mean, I'll tell you, you want to know a lot of stories in the hometown papers across Pennsylvania, and I read these papers. It's often about how this local government or this township, this municipality, is trying to figure out what to do with all the money they're sitting on. How are they going to spend it? It's like what we've never thought about this much money before. It's unbelievable. They're still sitting on the money that we threw at state and local governments over the course of the pandemic.
Back in 20
and
also in 21.
While the cities and states were having record years for revenue collections. Record, all time. And so we gave them $500 billion on top of that. And now the Democrats are saying, well, if you want more, you know, for the men and women in uniform, we got to have more to spend on welfare. And
we've already given them
like
all
unbelievable.
We've given them.
Yes.
Just 2 points on that. It's funny. I want to make a note. On the, we'll call it general welfare, all these different programs, welfare-related programs. First point, does anybody know where this money is going? Seriously. I mean, their accountability and transparency is at a minimum. And this is taxpayer money. And I don't think anybody knows, and I don't think anybody's satisfied.
We're just getting occasional little glimpses of a terrible amount of fraud that's gone on, Larry. And you know how this is. When government all of a sudden decides it's going to pump several $1 trillion out, an awful lot of it's going to go in the wrong places. This is where House Republicans, now in control of that chamber next year, really need to do some oversight and drill down and find out where this money went and hold people accountable.
The other point I wanted to, I mean, yes, 100% on that. But the other point I wanted to raise with you is the absence of work requirements.
Oh, totally.
And the reason I raised this child tax credit stuff, which is very much in the air, the liberals would love to put whatever, $3,000 a kid or $3,600 a kid, would cost something $1.5 trillion. But there's never any work requirements, Senator Toomey.
Yep.
The reforms of 25 years ago have been long gone. In the pandemic money, work requirements were lifted. They'd never been put back.
Yep.
So you have this mismatch. I mean, you see there's 10 million jobs opening, right? No one's there to fill it. Nick Eberstadt, you may know him from the American Enterprise Institute. We had Bill Bennett on quoting him the other night. There are something like 7 million people, 7 million, listen to this, able-bodied between the ages of 25 and 54, the heart of the workforce. They are not working, and they are not even looking for work. And we're talking about expanding various welfare, housing subsidies, student loan forgiveness, tax credits for kids. Honestly, isn't this a gigantic problem?
It's a huge problem. It's such terrible policy. You're really not ultimately doing favors for these folks. Keeping them out of the workforce, the only way to really get ahead and to really have satisfaction of being productive is to be working, right, and to be accomplishing something. This is terrible policy, but you're absolutely right. By the way, Scott Hodge did a great piece in the Wall Street Journal on the child.
Mea culpa.
Yes, he did.
He was
exactly
the inventor.
Right. And he realizes, oh my, this got out of control.
Yes.
40% of Americans paying no income tax at all,
yes.
And it's because they're getting a check in the mail. It's like a basic minimum tax, right? Which, just a check shows up in the mail without any effort.
What's the left's word is basic or guaranteed minimum
Yeah, maybe
income?
that's what it is.
Guaranteed minimum. This is the backdoor way of going to that.
It's completely equivalent.
I mean, this eats into the soul of America, the dignity of work. I mean, really, it's a huge issue.
Right.
Why can't, here's one of my beefs about this omnibus bill.
Yeah.
Talked about it last night with some senators. Whatever happened to regular order? In other words, let me go back to your point. I'm a defense hawk. Got it. But you have 12 appropriation subcommittees to deal with all these areas. Why each one is supposed to have hearings with experts to evaluate the spending limits, spending levels, and the policies. So you go through that, you might decide we don't have to have an even match between defense and non-defense. In fact, we might want to cut a lot of non-defense, for example, for the waste that you've described. What happened to that process? Because the taxpayers are very ill-served.
This is very important. It's even worse than that, Larry, because not only does that process now, it's completely opaque. In some recent years, they've gone through that process in the committee, but the next step in that process used to be, now put it on the Senate floor and it's open for amendments. So a guy like me can go down and say, oh, you know, where you massively threw literally hundreds of billions of dollars at, say, transit over the last few, that's enough. Let's shift some of that money to defense.
Right.
And then I want to have a vote.
Right.
And maybe I win and maybe I lose, but we should be able to litigate and adjudicate that question. None of that happens, Larry. There's none of it. And so you end up getting some deal that very few senators were in on, and then it's an up or down vote. And that's all there is. It's very, very dysfunctional, and it's not serving taxpayers well at all.
I know. I think it's you know, you could have pay-fors, but some pay-fors could be spending reductions.
Totally. That's exactly what they should be.
And we used to do that kind of thing. We used to have caps on spending. Those are gone, too. And this business about 4 or 5 people in a room with their senior staff behind them, the public doesn't know. The members don't even know.
Correct.
The members don't even know.
No.
You've been on this show so many times. Kevin Kramer, people, they don't know what the hell's going on.
And now, as you pointed out during your opening monologue, apparently we're going to go back to earmarks.
I know.
Who knows how many kind of earmarks we're going to find. You find it out over the weeks after the bill is passed. This is a terrible, terrible process.
Pat Toomey, you've been a fighter for economic growth and free markets for all your time in the Senate and the House. What should the GOP say to the public as what Art Laffer calls stewards of prosperity? What should the real positive messaging be, you know, going ahead?
Well, first of all, it's a quick reminder, 2019, after the tax reform that you and I worked very hard on, in 2019, we had arguably the best economy of my lifetime. Record low unemployment numbers, wages growing faster than inflation, not slower than inflation, narrowing the income gap as the lowest income workers got the biggest raises. Tell me what's wrong with going back to that. So I would suggest there's a few things we ought to be doing. And House Republicans, I hope, will do this. Make the tax reform permanent.
Boom.
Right? Get that done. And you know what? The Senate probably won't take that up. But the Republicans can pass that. They should. They should show that they're for that. Build some energy infrastructure. Larry, my state, Pennsylvania, second biggest state in gas production in America, behind only Texas. Huge producer, and we have all kinds of idle capacity. Wells not being drilled because the pipes are full. because we can't get approvals to privately funded. These are private companies. We're not talking about taxpayer money.
But they can't get permits.
You can't get the permits. You got to fix that.
Yep.
Do that right. Build the infrastructure that allows us to develop our own energy and use our own energy. And then the third thing I would say, there's some low-hanging fruit in opportunities to get some free trade agreements. The UK. The UK.
Right. Whatever happened to that, right? We talked about this a couple years ago with Boris Johnson.
Yeah.
They were liberated from Europe with Brexit. Whatever happened to free trade?
They still want to do it. We have zero interest in this administration. Both countries would benefit significantly from that.
You hated the steel tariffs as much as I did.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
It's true.
As much as I did.
Yeah.
And you're a free trader.
Yeah.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Biden has left the steel and aluminum tariffs in place on our allies.
I know.
When we make most of the steel that we consume, and we just import little bits that we don't make in this country.
I disagreed with my former boss on that one, I gotta say.
Yeah, so did I.
I know you did. You're very great. I don't think anybody was more important than getting the tax cuts passed than you.
Well,
so.
You're being very kind and too generous. There are a lot of folks that made that possible.
Well,
you're one of them.
I know they did, and it was a great thing. And I think nobody around is, for spending restraint, limited government. I mean, you're a solid free market guy. That's why we're going to miss you so much. But you did a lot of good. You did a lot. You're going to stay in the game somehow? Policy?
Somehow I got to find a way. I've devoted too much of my life to walk away from it, and I'm too concerned about the future of our country. I'm very optimistic about it, but I want to do my part in a different way.
Pat Toomey, fabulous job.
Larry,
your service.
Thank you very
wonderful.
much.
Thanks.
By
the way, you've been great to this show. And you and I have been pals for a long time.
Yes, we have.
So we'll stay in touch.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll come on again as this ordinary citizen.
If you'll invite me, I'll be back.
The best of the best, Senator Pat Toomey, unfortunately retiring at the end of this session.